Yo, what's going on? This is the college dropouts.
College dropouts, baby.
About to say some wild shit. Just know we can't be cancelled.
I'll be trying to get cancelled. You can cancel me.
So this is the college dropouts season 2. Episodes found on the makingchangestudios.com website, Spotify, and all major streaming platforms. Stay tuned, guys. This is some good conversation. Grab a cup of tea. I think what you're trying to say is animism. I think if I'm correct, is the word, and that was before monotheistic religions. And
yeah.
So when we're talking about whether you was African or from the Moors, or even pagans, and what their gods did were they were based on the elements. So when it rained, that must be a god like doing that.
Yeah.
So there was a god of a water god. Yeah. There was a sun god.
There was a
god,
a
forest god.
Or asking for protection for hunting and asking for this and things like that. Then over time,
you can see
in
that
theory,
even in the gods' names, and like if you look at the Greek gods like Apollo, which is sun.
Yeah.
And all that. So.
And Roman one as well. Roman mythology as well, because they like. It's like obviously they like worship planets more than anything, like so it was like Mars, Jupiter and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
going names.
But
what do you think? So do you think there's a creator, or do you think we were here? Do you think there was like ancient civilizations before us?
Yeah.
I personally believe that there was civilizations before us that were maybe even more technologically, physically, spiritually more advanced than what we are today.
No, yeah.
That's what I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm coming on that theory, like expanding on that. It's like I do believe that aliens may have did come down back in the day.
What's an alien though?
But I mean,
this is where I get into it.
But this is not. But I mean, not alien is a more advanced race than us.
But we've had an alien angel. It
was interpreted as this is why we go into the text and stuff like that, because it was interpreted as angels, and if you go really back into, I've been watching a lot of ancient aliens.
Man's been on that Geo.
Yeah.
it's a good one though. It's a good place to start.
Yeah.
But
I think in terms of aliens, when we talk about aliens, because I'll bring it back round, but quickly when we talk about aliens, I feel like people always assume that they're going to be like advanced and, they're going to be little green men.
Yeah.
Whereas I 100% think that there's other life out there. It's like the possibilities are endless. There's like a billion suns, which means there's a billion solar systems. So there's going to be life somewhere.
Yeah.
It depends on really how you think the universe was created, whether you think if there's aliens or if there isn't aliens, I guess.
Yeah.
So if you believe in like the Big Bang, and you believe that this is a coincidence, then again you go to probability and you have to say there's a likelihood that this has happened somewhere else.
Yeah.
So there's a theory called, it's something expansion theory. I can't remember what the theory is called anyway, but that's basically saying that the Big Bang, there's loads of them, so it depends on when our Big Bang was. So ours might not have been first then. So if you think 50,000 years ago there was another Big Bang which created another galaxy or a solar system, then there's going to be life there.
Yeah.
But would they come here? Would we know they've been here? Like, because if we went to space, we've been to space, innit?
Yeah.
And it like
we would.
Our mindset, humans, is just like we've got to say we've been here.
To a certain degree, I agree with that. But would they want the masses to know if it was a thing of where?
Because apparently they've already got space stations on Mars, they've got space stations on the moon, they've already gone and done it, but they only tell us what we
Do you think people would be able to handle it? if they just dropped tomorrow, yeah, there's other life forms. Yeah,
they've been grooming us for.
For years.
They have been grooming, but whether it's to groom us for actual life force or life beings coming from other planets, or whether they're prepping us to release some kind of nanotech or flipping biochem something that they've created to say that it's this.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Like COVID.
But this is what I'm saying. So without, in that sense, it's like people, we are being desensitized to a lot of stuff.
Definitely being desensitized.
Over the last 20 years, it's been like really enhanced. You know, since the internet and the phones and all of them kind of things. But then technology for me as well. Do you look at and think that we've got the technology that's really the technology?
Nah.
We
get drip fed.
Yeah, 100%. I seen a thing the other day when they was talking about VR back in like the 60s. They already had the VR headsets and that in the 60s, and we've only just getting them now.
Electric cars. We used to have electric milk floats back in the day, and they used to have fleets of them. Do you get what I'm saying? All whizzing round, and now it's electric cars. Like it's a new thing. Electric.
I know what you're saying.
I guess this back to my point. I don't know if people could handle it. It's like saying this, isn't it? If you like, if we, or not we, but if people really proved that there was no God, can you imagine what would happen? What would happen if they proved?
But what, in the sense of, I don't think you could prove that there wasn't.
That doesn't prove. Yeah, exactly. That doesn't prove that there was no God.
I'm not saying they have, but I'm saying, what if they did?
But even if aliens come down and took accountability for the creation of man,
that's still God.
That's still, in a sense, God. And even my question would be, well, who created you?
Yeah.
Because you must be thinking to yourself like, oh, well, how did we get here? You get what I'm saying?
But this is why I think there's a whole galactical council, and they believe there's a whole galactical council and politics going on in space, just like Star Wars and that.
But does it?
And if you've seen the series V, remember the series V?
Yeah.
Remember V?
Oh no, the alien thing.
The alien thing, and there was lizards. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, they tried to make a remake of that, and it never did too well. But
it was a series.
They had series. They tried to make a remake, but anyway, the original, obviously, they came down looking like us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So nobody was suspicious about what they wanted to do on the planet. Mm-hmm. They told us they just wanted our kind of minerals and this and that, and we want to negotiate. But then it started getting greasy in it because they realised what there was underneath in it, and really there was lizards, and we was just food to them. But I don't think it will go that far. But in my theories, I think, we was here first as coloured people, indigenous people was here first on the planet, and white people
are aliens.
Is that... Yeah, my theory came the other day. Seriously, blood, I'm not joking. I couldn't. Oh my god, I swear.
So you are they the Anunnaki then? Do you know about the Anunnaki?
Yes, this is one of my theories. Yeah.
So you believe the white man is the Anunnaki, or
resembles because
so from my inner standing, from my bits of researching and that, does the Anunnaki were an alien. I use inverted commas. They were a race from a different star galaxy.
Okay.
Yeah, and their planet.
This is all in the Maccabees. And stuff
man. Their planet was basically, struggling.
Yeah.
They've been looking for things to help replenish their Earth's atmosphere and that. they've come here
and
to mine
pass
for gold.
down, and they pass down intelligence, and the pastor was supposed to pass down intelligence.
Well, created
and
the man to be a minion in a sense and mine their
so
gold.
basically, we're like
Minions.
and what
like
I've
simulation, not simulations, but in a sense we've just
But we are robots if you actually
Robots.
break down the body and you think about it. Yeah. We talk about biology and that.
biological robots.
But as much as we say biological, that's the words that they use for them. We're just machines.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about how the actual body works,
The
yeah,
thing
it
is,
works exactly like a car.
It does, but a
It
car
does.
cannot create another car.
No, but if the car, we're more advanced than it because we created the car.
Yeah.
But then if we was created by a mind that was way more advanced, which we say, oh yeah, God and this, that and the other, yeah,
it would
then
have some kind of
we would be a machine to them. They would be able to control us with their technology or their advancement. Can't even call it technology, call it advancement. So if they did come, we'd probably just go, because if you think about the brain is just like a computer. It's a chip. It contains information and that. And it receives and admits energy, information and that. So it wouldn't be hard to say if certain times certain things can happen to us, and we can have brain injuries or whatever, and it stops us from doing things, amnesia, all of these kind of things, brain things. So to say then that a mind that is far greater than what ours is, if we control our things now through Bluetooth, you get me? You can control your washing machine off your phone. You get what I'm saying?
So that is like simulation theory.
In
basic terms,
a sense, kind of, but simulation's more, I'd say, inside your computer. That's how I look at simulation. We are actually physical, just like the car is.
But what you're saying is in the same sense. So with scientists, that when they talk about simulation theory, saying they couldn't say that simulation theory isn't real. Because like you're saying, if someone's created us and they're controlling us, how would we know? That's in essence, it's a bit deeper than that.
No, but it's not. But it's same with God, though. If you think about God, whichever way you kind of look at it, if we look at God, okay, you can look at it in a spiritual context, or you can look at it in a logical, in an actual
energy.
No, you can look at it like okay. So say the Big Bang happened, certain energies, were able to mix, or certain energies. We talk about Big Bang. You're not talking about a petrol explosion.
No, of course,
You get me? It's we can't even comprehend when you say Big Bang. We say Big Bang to someone, it's like like an explosion of like boom, like a you know what I mean, like a bomb's just gone off. Bro, we couldn't even comprehend the level of the bang, the energy, the force, whatever's gone into it.
It would probably wipe you out if you
wipe it out, bro. The sky rumbles from thunder. You get what I'm saying? We're talking about the Big Bang that's create whatever. Do you get what I'm saying? It's far superior than.
Do you think most people are religious because of fear, real belief, or indoctrination?
So religion or spirituality?
I'm talking about religion, bro. Now
religion. I believe, me personally, I believe that it's when we talk about certain people know how to use energies and things like that. Like religion is one of those things where I believe part of it, not all of it, because there has to be some truth behind it in order for it to work. Do you get what I'm saying? In order for them to be able,
it's a system,
and that's that. For me, I believe that it's been more of an indoctrination, but a manipulation of the fact that we do feel feel something.
100%, man. 100%.
And I don't. Everybody, like, not everybody, because I can't speak for everybody, but a lot of us struggle because we feel something, but we just really can't explain what it is. And there's no explanation for what it is. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's something far deeper than like you said, going into a church or something like that, it's something that triggers inside you.
Yeah, it's that there is that sometimes you can be in tuned with that voice at certain times. It's that voice. It's kind of like, and he's giving you the answers. You know what I'm saying? But you've got to listen to him. That's what I feel like.
Yeah. See, I think religion's good, at it. Like, on the whole. I'm not religious, but I understand I come from a religious family and a religious background.
Standard.
But personally, I'm not religious.
Yeah.
That's just the way.
Are you spiritual though?
You must be.
I don't know if I'm spiritual, but even to be honest, I really believe in just... Do you know what it is? I just believe in peace. It sounds corny as fuck. But I'd rather just like believe in people. I believe if you do good things will happen.
That's like
I don't really believe there's anyone driving what we do. I believe in we are.
What about if people are doing good things and bad things keep happening to them?
But that's life, isn't it? We live in a place where we've been tricked to think that everything's fair.
Yeah. In
this life, everyone's equal and everything's fair, which just ain't true. You know, as you get older, you'll realise that. Look how many
is that based on indoctrination, or is that based on actually how you believe that it is? If that makes sense. Do you believe that that's due to people's free will, or due to the fact that they've been pushed to think that way?
I think, so I feel like society, of course, I feel like religion and society has, but that would then take away the fact of, like you said, there's been civilizations here before who may have had a different God, who, like we said, there's religions, there's tribes that live a certain way that don't have the same God of us, or do you know what I mean, have a completely different perspective on life.
Whole
like
system,
things we see, they don't even see. Like, there's a study in it, and it's done on African women, and they did basically an IQ test then. So they did this test with a load of American women, and it's about a woman walking like from the wow, and she carrying like all this stuff. So you had to like comprehend and pick out the stuff she's carrying and see like how long it took, and like the American women smashed it, but then the African women didn't do very well. But in their answers, their whole perception was different. It was kind of like, well, why is the woman walking from the well on her own? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? So their comprehension of the viewpoint of the world, even though they were watching exactly the same thing, is so different.
Yeah. So how can you explain that though? I'm trying to think in my head. How would you explain that?
It's culturalism. It's like you said, society does drive us to think a certain way. It's like you were saying earlier about being a free thinker. This country doesn't raise its children to be free thinkers, or I should say, they don't want the working classes' children to be free thinkers. Because I say this all the time, man. It's one of my pet peeves, man. You know, like if you go on the road and there's no cars on the road, and then people go to the traffic lights and they still press the button, and then they wait, and they're still waiting. And I'm thinking, bro, what's wrong with these people?
People like being told what to do. That's what I mean.
To a certain degree, it's not even that they like being told what to do. They've been programmed to do what they've been told to do. Yeah. And that's the thing. It is like.
Well, this is why we should create more leaders and less followers.
How do we do that?
But this is the thing. This is what I was saying. We've got leaders in power that have been put there through this the all the politics and all of them kind of things. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, leaders don't get paid, bro. My opinion. They're not doing it to be a leader.
Yeah, the best leaders are the ones who never wanted to.
They're not doing it because they want to lead. They're not doing it because they want to get paid. They're doing it because they're taking not even. It's nothing to do with the best. It's not even a thing where they would say, I'm a leader. They don't even want that title, bro. I'm not a leader. I'm just here with my people. I'll probably take the slack and that because you're my people. I'll go first. It's not because I want to see you safe. You get me? Like, it's got nothing to do with I want your money and all them kind of things there. It's got to do with literally, A lot of the time, leader comes with experience.
Yeah.
Yo, I've experienced this route, so let me guide us through. It's not even a leader; it's a guide.
Yeah.
I don't want a leader.
Yeah.
You get me? I want a guide. I want someone who's who's got. You get what I'm saying? Somebody who's willing to, like I said, what I was explaining to outside. Anyone in these positions, and I know they say it's weak. No, but what we're trying to do is it's not about being strong and all of that. Compassion and empathy is something that will, if possessed by our leaders, all of our leaders, will change the whole dynamics of the way things are done. Why is it? It's based on dictatorship. Right about now, it's based on who's got the biggest army, who's got the
because
who's got the biggest
always
balls.
going to be a power struggle,
and that's what it is. But leaders don't a true. What they say in the sense of a leader, they're not looking.
A truly does show the most empathy and
compassion. Wants to be among his people. Wants to make sure that his people are healing and his people are well. Like, yo, these politicians are getting paid mad p to do what? You ain't helping us. Just because if you was real, if you was really about your people,
one joke, a friend, and that.
I don't want no money.
It's true.
From I've got my food. You get me, and I'm not even comfortable, because you see the comfortability that creates weakness.
It doesn't.
Because once you get comfortable, now it's a thing of
hungry.
Yo, you're less hungry, or you're more susceptible to do things. Yo, I'm taking your chair away unless you do this. Oh shit. All right, you know what? I don't really need that too much. You get me? But I prefer my chair. All right. Till you're down to just your chair, then it's a thing of, yo, we're taking your chair and we've got you anyway, because you give everything up just for that little bit of comfort. But the moment you turn around and go, fuck that, I'll sit on the floor, mate. Take the friggin' chair. Huh? Yeah. What you know, lock the door? Lock the door then, bro. Take everything out. What? You think I care about that? Man strong?
Do you think people would respect a leader like that? Because, let's face it, we had what's my man's name? Jeremy Corbyn. Yeah, whether you liked him or you didn't, he was that geezer riding the tube, doing what he was doing. But activist. I know, like, he's still part of the system, but what I'm saying is he was as close to that. But people thought he was. But weak.
This is what I mean. It's a
people thought he was weak.
Yeah, you can have the compassion and empathy, but I think as well, for me, it's really connecting with your people, bro.
Yeah.
It's coming from that struggle. It's knowing. It's not pretending to know.
You're not gonna find many.
And I know when you talk about empathy, empathy is something that I believe we have to experience things as well to be able to give us that ability to know understand what it is.
Emotional EQ and like emotional intelligence, because a lot of people haven't been through life trauma experiences. They've grew up in bubbles, so when they see, they don't really know how to respond to it, and I feel like even with young men, a lot of kids go through trauma, and we expect them. It could be minor to us because we're adults, but you have to think everything's relative, and to your life on this planet, everything's relative to you. So if they feel like they've been through a trauma and then they're acting in a certain way, people are always like, yo, why do you feel like this? Well, I'm like 36 and sometimes I don't know how I'm feeling, and I've been through a lot. So when you're asking like 13, 14-year-olds...
But you see, the problem is certain people do play victim.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but from what though? Kids only act out what they've been shown. We have to take... I'm sorry.
And I was gonna say, and I'm saying, about yo, the parents, how you brought up, you know, when you're talking about was being indoctrinated, and it really, it is just how you brought up from your seed, your parents, who brought you up, you know what I mean? That's what
they succumb to, what they experience, whether they are,
because they pass on their experience onto you, whether you like it or not, and whether you hear it or realize it. You know, you might not even just register it.
No, it's true. It's like what we said, you turn into your fathers.
With the Willie Lynch, That's a perfect example of where we're talking about how parents and everything can act and do certain things. We've been through certain things, we've experienced certain things, so now we don't want our children to go through the same things, so we stop them from being rebels in a sense because we were scared of what we experienced. So now we've got them under lock and key. Do you get what I'm saying?
Our ancestors' bloods are running through our veins, and it probably does boil, because sometimes it does boil for me.
Information.
It boils, you know, like...
It's the information.
When certain things don't go my way, and I know it's because of that, you know,
you see,
race card.
But this is the thing for me. I know it. Okay, it's there. I grew up in a white household. Yeah, my mum and dad, they worked together. Yeah, my mum didn't. So I grew up in a white household. I had a white mum and a white stepdad. Yeah, they were brought up. My mum was brought up by my granddad, who was indoctrinated to be a racist. Yeah, so my mum now has got certain perceptions on her. Yeah, when I've come here, it threw her off. I've experienced that racism, but I've also experienced the how she feels after, when she's realizing, yo, what am I doing? The guilt. Do you know what I mean? And I've also seen how hard it is then for them to act in a righteous way because of the guilt. So a lot of the time, this is why I was saying about empathy and compassion. Sometimes you have to go through the experiences to have a deeper understanding, to be like, yo, it's not these people. And I know I'm not trying to make excuses, because I've experienced it from both sides. I've been called racist names by black brothers, by Asian brothers, by it all. I've been embraced by all colours. Do you get what I'm saying? And it all comes down to the teachings that we've gone through, the experiences that we've experienced, the people, places and things. But when we can get to a point of a higher thinking and realise that, yo, you may be using that, but I'm wise enough to know that the only reason you're using that is because you don't know any better. I'm not going to rise to it, because I know that that's been created to create that divide between us. So what I'm going to try and do is humour you. I'm not going to allow you to I'm going to laugh. I have this thing called a level of acceptance. How many times you've been called a black bastard? Bro, you can't hurt me no more. Now I have to go back the opposite way. I have to laugh with it. You get me? Whereas before, man ain't laughing with it before. But now it's at the point where it's like, huh? You really that small-minded? Is that come on, man? Like, look, we live in a multicultural society now, and that's the catch up.
Does multiculturalism work?
I believe it does. I believe that in the sense of we're from the universe, bro.
I understand that, but does it work in society?
I might have to debate it, because it's like,
which society though? Because what we also have to understand, something that you picked up on earlier on, Africa have a different society set up than what we do over here. So is it the Eastern or West?
Nah, I'm talking like UK, because I think
so. The Western society.
Does it work?
It does, until the other people start shaking the jar.
Okay.
I was just about to say as well, do we think it works, but English people might say it doesn't work?
But define an English person.
English.
I hear what you're saying. 100%. But I'm talking about traditionalists then, who say they're English, you know what I'm saying? White brothers, family were born here, 150, whatever, how many years, ain't it? Do they think multiculturalism has worked? What do you think? I'm just trying to say, because is that perspective as well, ain't it? Like, I personally think it has worked. I think it's a good thing. I think being able to go anywhere and buck up on a Mexican, a Chinese person, a Pakistani person,
that's
anything.
Nice. It's nice. Culture. It's nice when you have a girl flex.
And this is the thing where we get where I think the conflict kind of starts, is where we start to pick on people's cultures rather than embracing it.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Because it's something new. Yeah, that's your perception and your perspective. That's how you do it because of your demographics of where you're based. We're over here, we do it like this. That doesn't mean to say you're doing it wrong and we're doing it right. That just means to say, due to the different demographics and the different cultural beliefs, we do things a bit different. But base ground, foundation, how we deal with each other is respectfully. How we deal with each other is respectfully. So why can't we do that to each other? Do you get what I'm saying? What's stopping it? The politics, the divides. Because when you actually deep it, when we go onto the streets and man's walking through Sparkle, all of that, man, them are all cool with each other. Unless you're on the grind for your pee and everything, which there's going to be drama and that, When man, even a man that was beefing, 20 years ago, yo, they're all cool with each other. Are you mad? Man can go to anyone and man are cool with each other. Man that was ready to lick off man's heads and that. Yo, one blood, you're good. Happy to see, man, because it's like the realization, yo, what was we under then, blood? We was being duped by the system, by all of the bullshit to make us believe that, this is all of the papers. Oh, these men are against this. Oh, that man's against this man. Oh, these. Oh, what are you on about,
and
man?
This shit's still going on, right? That's still going on.
But people are waking up to it, though. People are waking up to it because
I think so.
You got to realise the internet, is as much as with social media and all of them kind of things can have. It has got quite a but there's still a lot of things now. People are saying, "Oh, fuck that." Start putting my stuff up, man.
You
know what I mean? I'm start speaking. I'm gonna start expressing my opinions. I'm not down with all of this. The marches.
It's give people a voice, and that's the one thing has done. People can express themselves, and that's the one thing the internet has done. But there's a danger with that as well, innit? Because not everyone's qualified to speak on certain situations, and unfortunately, that's a reality. But the internet has given everyone the opinion that their opinion matters.
Well, they're just keeping it a free.
But to a certain
economy,
degree, does everyone's opinion not matter to a certain degree?
I think on certain situations, no. Like, this is why I think there's a lot of things. Not that their opinions don't matter, but when you're trying to share your opinion with masses of people, then I do think, I feel like when people talk, they should kind of have reference to what they're saying.
But what if reference only comes through experience and they can't reference it because based on somebody else's theory? They can only base it on their own experiences. So their references
so this is what I'm saying. So if they haven't experienced it, why would they speak on it to reference it?
But then you've got I'm playing devil's advocate here. I've been to university for how many years and everything, and I've got a master's degree and I've got a PhD and everything. So I'm qualified to speak on this. So I'm more qualified to speak on it than somebody that's gone through the experience. No, I'm just
probably not qualified to speak on it.
Because that's talking about you're talking about qualified as in a qualification. I'm talking about qualified in terms of just having a point of reference, like knowing that what you're talking about isn't propaganda and fake news. I feel like it's a person's responsibility. I feel like it's a person's responsibility to be careful what they say.
So what about medical?
You should always think before you talk.
And the reason that I say this,
one of them ones.
Do you think so? The medical, the healthcare industry, at the moment, yeah. So do you think then the doctors are able or qualified? To speak on health because they've gone through college and university, knowing that now certain things that have been said that this is this, now down the line it's saying this is this, it's changed.
Like what? Give me an example.
So
I think I know what you're talking about, but I'd say.
Alright, so
you're talking about like having a qualification in terms of education.
But what I'm saying is, does a qualification, for mental health, for instance, a person with a qualification in mental health, does that qualify them?
Not a qualification, but let's say if you're speaking to someone with who's got lived experience within mental health, then to me, that's a I'm not talking about qualification in terms of you've got academic.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
You're qualified.
Your life,
you're qualified
what you've
more
experienced.
than someone who's been to school and learnt about it to talk about it because you've lived it.
That's my point. Does somebody who has lived it override somebody who has been educated it?
100%.
And that was my point. You know, because a lot of the time now you get people because they haven't got the qualification, they haven't got the credentials, they are not deemed fit or worthy enough to speak on certain situations that you have to have a medical or qualification to have. So that was kind of my point.
We're going. I think we're going the same way, but from a different.
So
100%. If you've got lived experience in things, then definitely. I mean, a lot of the work I do is with people with lived experience and working in the trust or the criminal justice system. So yeah, definitely, man, we push for that. I feel like having someone, even if you've come out of hospital, whether you've come out of jail, you know, they can get you to go and see probation officers, social workers, housing officers, but these people ain't really been through what you've been through. So the point in having someone like a lived experience, peer mentor or someone from the trust who you know knows exactly what it's like, whether it's you coming off drugs, whether it's been through abuse,
I can talk on this full-heartedly because I've been through the system since I was 19, and like I've been in and out the mental health system, and it's like it's got better, it's progressed. Let's just put it that way, because when I was 19. It was terrible.
I can imagine, bro. Like, mental health is a concept. As a concept on whole, it's a new concept.
It was all it was all what you were saying. It was people who just degrees, never experienced what we've gone through, don't know how to manage us, and you know, talk to us because they've never experienced. They've never had.
They're going from a book.
Experience. They're going from a book.
They're going from a classroom.
And I've read a book. I've read a book called Madness and Civilization, and it's about how the mental health system was built and how it started and up and like that. And it's all built on old remedies.
Do you think mental health has been created, or do you think it's something that we all had within inside us?
I think we've all got cognitive ability in it. So we've all got, I'd say your cognitive ability is just like any other muscle in your body, and it can deteriorate and it can flourish.
No, but you see, I'm talking. All right, so you've got the deteriorative.
Like poor mental health. So you've got poor mental health.
I'm talking, say, for instance, schizophrenia or something like that.
Yeah. Do I think it was created?
Do you think it's created, or do you think it's something that people have within them? Do you think it's a mental health? Do you think it's something other than that?
I think it's... Go on, sorry.
I've never questioned myself. I've never answered that question, because obviously that's why I officially have been diagnosed of schizophrenic. But do I think it's created? You know, like, in a sense, yeah, because a lot of it came from the TV and hearing voices from the TV. So this is what I mean. This is like, at the end of the day, it's kind of like you can be taken by a lot of that media, and that can really, there's inner messages and stuff like that, and now that is all coming out. We all see that.
Yeah, mind control.
It's been that's not new now. That's, you get me. This is why when I was 19, this is why I've officially, you know, like, I mean, I've
Can I ask, out of it. What when you was 19? What was the build up? What brought you to having the diagnosis that you was a schizophrenic?
It was a build up of everything. So it was kind of like my life.
And before you start, I was diagnosed.
Yeah.
As being a schizophrenic.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you my version of how I look at it. Like, it's not what you're trying to make it. It's something.
This is what I mean. You got a point. You have got a point. I've never thought of that question. Was it correct? It's coming to my mind at one time in my mind, but I don't dwell on it, because my mind, I feel like it's mind over matter, innit?
You see, in India, they'll be, and different places, people that have those experiences.
It's like from God.
Okay, it's a spiritual experience.
Spiritual feeling.
So there's certain things that I would say are mental health. And then there's other things that I would say, yo, that's a spiritual intervention.
But this is where you can get deep into medication, because the medication they give you that suppresses it. Yes.
So this is what you have to ask yourself. Okay, why are you suppressing what's going on? Are you aware of the fact that it's something far more? It's spiritual.
Yeah.
And if we from school, from the ages of when we're born, are taught different than what we're taught in school. Yeah. Do you think then we would those things that are happen, innate abilities, what I was talking about? Some people have gifts, bro.
Yeah.
As much as we say gift, but it's not even a gift. And we all have. We was created, bro.
But we're supposed to be able to channel that energy. We're supposed to be able to channel that.
We can
sometimes with that, and this is what I mean with medication. I wonder sometimes I'm a bit suspect over it. I think, well, is it suppressing that key energy that I need to, fulfill my powers, my destiny? Like I've got magic, like I've got superpowers, like an X-Men.
You've got your ancestors inside you, like you said. If you've got their blood flowing through them, you're not going to have information. Our brain's a computer. It's not biological. It's going to have information stored up from all. It's going to have certain.
I think it depends on it. Like, I think there's definitely schizophrenia. Or there's definitely, because I've seen it, man. I've seen my uncle who's a schizophrenic, and it's okay. Like, saying that someone's diagnosed with something doesn't mean that they necessarily have to have it forever. Like, people can just have like periods of psychosis, or periods of mania, or periods.
But why did they have these periods?
You don't know.
What
stress?
But this is the thing. If we actually deep it, forget how the way that it's being viewed by the way we've been taught to view it. Let's look at what people are pretty much going through at that times. They're not doing.
It's not like what we've been taught to do. It's like what I've seen, like firsthand. Like I've seen, like.
It's your perspective. It's your perspective.
Yeah, that's my perspective. So I've seen my. If it was something so divine, like I've seen someone literally try and harm themselves because of this. So if it's a divine experience, and as I said, if you are fine, and you're not putting yourself in harm, then crack on. I don't think anyone should be forced to say you're diagnosed with this, so you have to take this medication. But if I feel like, do you know what, just for that, maybe you go through mania for a month or two, and in that time you're having a divine attention, but then it can lead to something that's a bit more, that's not healthy for yourself. Like, you're not eating. I've seen a man not eat for weeks and weeks and weeks and say he's fine. I've seen
but this is the thing though, you see
but this is why it's hard to,
you see, like,
it's hard
so
realise what you're doing from the outside, like it's hard to realise what's going on from the outside, because I think you're salty. Taking on from my experience, you don't. I've been through that. Like, you have them moments of mania, and that's when it got bad. That's when my mum phoned the doctors and stuff like that to come and get me, and it was like, well, I was going through mad state. It was going through.
How did you feel in them stages of mania? In the sense of
fucking horrible. I hated it.
Forget the mental. You felt your body. Your body is bare energy. So you have to look at it like, it's an overload. Are we like you said? We're absorbing a lot of EMF.
At the time,
what's it, man?
Electronic magnetic frequency. We're water. So we still harbour energy. Now everything is all about energy, regardless of how you want to look at it. Everything is about energy. So it all comes down to energy. Now, a lot of the time, we're not taught about energy. We're not taught about how energy. We're not even taught about how sex actually really works. All we're taught is if you put your dick inside an arnie and you explode, you're gonna have a baby. You're not talking about the actual transference of energy that's really going on. You're transferring pure DNA energy, certain certain.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you get what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that we're not even taught with regards to how much energy we emit, how much we bring in. We're not taught about manifestation. We're not taught about meditation and all of these kind of things. We're not taught how to channel our energies. We're not taught about our chakras, all things that they know are there, all things that they know. Yeah. But we're not taught these. Reason being, so then we're in a state of mad confusion, doing things that we don't even know. So sometimes you may get the thing saying, bro, like, what are you doing?
Yeah. But you see, this is what. But see, when it comes to energy, you can judge.
What track are you?
Energy can get judged. Energy. This is why I don't.
Who is anyone to judge?
Because energy a person's energy can get misconstrued. You know, like and I mean when it's misconstrued from your own sense, because people can be like an aggy kind of person, and you're just like, oh, I don't want. You know, like what this person's aggy, and he's just doing my thing, and you know, and you can get a humble kind of person, but at the end of the day, it's like I'm not gonna try and read someone's energy. I'm gonna kind of watch what they say, based on the character and what they do, like their movements.
I get what you're saying. It's about what they do, not the energy.
Yeah, but elements. Everyone has different elements associated with them: earth, fire, water, wind. Do you get what I'm saying? People, I'm classed as fire. I blaze. Do you get what I'm saying? So other people maybe water and a little bit more. You know what I mean? So you're a little bit more like some. Now this is where say we may have we have different perceptions, but it's about appreciating that. Okay, you know what? Maybe I was being a little bit too fiery, and maybe I should take a little bit from the water. I think we have and vice versa.
Self-awareness.
But this is a thing that we're not taught again at school. So when we don't have awareness of ourselves, how do we know what we are or not capable of?
I think we have
how do we know what is and isn't going on?
We have to distinguish what kind of energy it is, because it's like at the end of the day, is it kinetic? Is kinetic energy? Is it like a shock, like, you know, electric energy? You know, like, see, if we're explaining this to the kids, we have to kind of distinguish that. So we have to make sure they know that.
But it's all kind, I believe. Yeah. We could touch and create them sparks of electric that you see off like a plug. Because
nobody believe you. It's like in the Celestine prophecies. Like, I've read the Celestine. If you read the Celestine prophecies,
I haven't, no.
And that's what I mean. And that's how the whole energy thing, and how these there's these 10 insights. There's these 9 insights. It's like a story, but it's based on a true story. And there's these 9 insights, and the journalist goes for the last insights, and they're all in Peru. And it's basically how, you know, it's about the Mayan calendar and the last Mayan thing and all that. But more into it, it's kind of like the insights, they are how we grow, it's the energy, it's how we're going to communicate, it's how we're supposed to be communicating in the future, and how we're supposed to grow as human beings, like how we're supposed to advance and supposed to progress. But apparently there's systems out there that don't want that. You know, like there's a system out there, there's the society that don't want that. So there's fighting and stuff like that going behind the scenes, and we don't know what's going on. But the energy thing is true, because we're supposed to be able to see energy. I remember reading in the book where he gets in one of the insights. He finds out one of the insights, and one of the insights is be able to see energy around living things, people's aura and that.
Man. The thing is, we throughout school we suppressed so much that it's, they say you can only use 5% of your brain. Well, we all know what 100% is of something, and we all know what 5% is of something. So if we're only using 5% of our brain, what could we achieve if we use 10%?
That's true.
Or 15%? Or now 50%? Like I said, cars. We build cars with restrictors on. We are certain people
cautious, but kind of race, and we're cautious, and we have to. I think we're.
But are we? Is it like I said, when we're a computer? So still, like, as when a computer's. So think about a computer, and you've got your hard drive and all of that contains information. You program the information into the computer. Yeah. So then the computer's gonna go off the information that you're putting in. All right, you need a new computer. You've got to clean it down a bit. Cool. Bang. Clean it down. New computer. Even though you've cleaned down your hard drive, it's still going to contain information at the back of it. You get what I'm saying? You may be able to tap into it if you know how to use the computer and that. If you're a hacker, So what if you was a human hacker, which is what they've been doing, hacking into humans? Why? Because we're computers. They make us sound different than technology. Because we're walking around and boom, 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 boom. But like I said,
I think we are different, aren't it? Because the difference is.
But look at the robots at the building now.
Yeah, but the one thing that them robots don't have, and probably will, not saying might never, but
if you
they haven't got the ability to empathise.
But algorithms, but what it does is the algorithm, is it will amalgamate all the different response to a
certain situation.
You get what I'm saying? Based upon all the information that it's been given. So depending on the information that it's being given, once again, depending on the information that we're being given, will determine how that's gonna act or react. We don't know if.
But would it be able to feel it? Is what I'm saying.
But we don't know. Because in 50 years' time, 100 years' time, we don't know how much more. Like, they're already creating tissue. They're already creating. So they're building robots now that are having they'll have life. So we don't really.
Neuralink, can it? Neuralink, you just put a chip in your brain so you can download information and that straight to your brain.
They're talking about putting suits on that can enable you. But then, if you think about it, you have to. If we may not be, well, I don't think we are nowhere near as advanced as what we have been or what we could be.
In the past,
So we don't really know. Like I said, we could genuinely be like a Terminator. We don't know.
It's true.
It's just what we've been programmed to think and what we've been programmed to know. We think, like human, but when you actually look at it, it's a robot. We're a robot. We're a high advanced robot with a brain that can breathe, that can, you know what I mean, and thingy and all of that.
Sometimes I see myself as a machine, and you gotta have a checkup and that. That's when you go to the gym, you gotta have a checkup.
Fasting, having cleansing yourself out, new shoes, rubber, so all when you actually deep it and you think about how machines are, like
but I think the difference is that because it's biological, like we can procreate and proliferate. Like if we injure ourselves, we have to go to the doctors, but realistically it's our body that regenerates itself, and whereas I think machines can't do that. That's the difference.
Not yet.
But nanotechnology will help like I said, there's things out there now that they're saying certain beds out there look, you was talking about cell regeneration earlier on. So if we're talking about, all right, if the theory of technology is true, in the sense that for every year civilization advances in technology, the military or black ops advance 40 years.
They get it first.
So if that theory is true, over the last 50 years, that's nearly what?
I don't know, bro.
Well, if they do 40 years every year, so that's like nearly a few thousand years in front of technology.
Couple of hundred years.
Now, if you look at films and all of them kind of thing, people are like, you're looking at, but where are they getting the knowledge of these kind of megastructures and the technology? Where's it coming from? Where's the thought of this technology coming from to put it in the film? As much as it's in the film, but where's the thought of it come from?
So what, back on the alien concept?
Do you think then that people don't have imaginations?
I think we're having our imagination suppressed, and I think that's one of the big things. I think imagination is one of the keys to being able to create whatever it is that you want to create, because as they say, whatever's in the mind is, isn't it?
But that's what I mean. Apparently from them UFOs, we've posted kind of enhanced stuff. What's the word? Sorry,
Evolved
off them the technology we found on them ships.
We've slowly brought it out, like phones.
Yeah,
phones like lasers.
Yeah.
But what if technology was there before, and like I said, we've just been jet fed it? If you look at some of these, you know, when you look at some of these bases, yeah, these underground bases,
Area 51 and that.
all of the, you think of the doors on them, bro. And you have to kind of like stop and think, wow, all right. You put it in films and that to make it seem far-fetched, but you've got this stuff.
Got that stuff.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So now you've got it.
It's like saying it's sanitizing.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Certain things from Star Trek, that's where mobile phones came from.
But what's to say they weren't around before then?
Flip phone, yeah.
They were around before then, because where did the thought of that come from?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
What comes first?
From somewhere.
The product or the thought?
They reckon that started the vital.
But nine times that it's going to be the thought. The thought's going to come before the product.
Yeah, they reckon that the writer from Star Trek, who had all that, you know, the creative mind for that, was getting passed down messages from aliens.
But then this is what I'm saying. We've seen throughout time that certain people, certain places, certain things have had things happen with regards to energy and certain things that have gone on that have people will look at and be like, wow, that's a book.
Well, it's like he says, we're not ready for. I don't think everyone is ready for it, and there's going to be the certain, like, I would say, small-minded kind of people that will just fuck up everything for everyone else. Like,
if aliens come.
Yeah, if like, you know, aliens come straight to war, go on bonkers, or just go on bonkers with it. And, you know,
what if the connection, like we said, has already been made? It's been there throughout time, and that
we
is
just don't know about it.
We just don't know about it. Well, that's what I think as well. I think maybe yeah. I think
it's probably there's things. Or now, do you think that is? So what do you think about this? The dimension theories,
like multiverses
and different dimensions.
Well, they're using it a lot now, isn't it? They're talking about it a lot now. It's the common thing. It's the popular talk now, isn't it? Yeah. I know, it's all everywhere in all the movies. It's the in talk now.
Movies, what's your theory on movies?
See, movies...
But in terms of, are they pushing agendas through films?
Yeah. Or do you think that... What? Yeah?
Well, science fiction, and it's...
Not even science fiction, just normal, certain
TV programs. I think that definitely are. It's amazing.
But do you think that there's alright, if you go back now, you can look at certain films that were made in like the 70s and 80s, and they're telling us about things that's popping off now.
Back to the Future.
Certain things like that. Clockwork Orange. That was one we was telling them about mind control and all them kind of things. There was another one that I watched not long ago where the geezer
candidate. That's one.
That's another one, yeah. Another one where the geezer puts on the glasses and they can see all the aliens and they can see all of the signs and all of that. Yeah. It's an old film, and it's like, yo, it's showing people about, you know, all the advertising and how consumerism and all of that, and how it grabs us.
Well, big films like that are putting that in, that are implanting them messages in there, and so it's blatant to see now. Like, Transformers has got so many hidden messages in it. Transformers.
So do you think you could watch films and actually kind of get a gauge of what the future is going to hold, or what's going to happen, or do you think that is done to program us to create that?
Yeah, it's not even that. It's been cartoons, ain't it? And they've been programmed.
Yeah, that's good though. Yeah. Do I think they've programmed to make us do that, or that is a depiction of what it is? I think. I don't know, you know.
What you say, got man stumped there?
It's programmed, isn't it? They want us to.
I think the news does that.
Yeah,
remember the news depends what we're talking about, because the news does that.
But that does that in the short term, in a sense.
The news is definitely trying to shape
what's gonna happen.
But films, like you say,
remember, we're forgetting it's entertainment.
But what is entertainment? What is it there for? Is it there to occupy them? What like is the? But then
it's there to stimulate and occupy.
But then it comes back to me. Where does the thoughts come from for the creators to create the movies that Avatar, bro?
Yeah, but it's like an amalgamation of everything you've been through in your life, and like whether it's real or not, we've all heard of aliens and we've all heard of.
But it's not just that; it's the stories that they're attaching to them as well. It's the like, you know, it's the throwing that
the colonization basically.
Yeah, and the way that they're making it actually think, wow, what if?
Well,
so I watched the film.
What's happened, and they're telling a story that's already happened.
But this is what I'm saying. I watched a film the other day. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. It was basically about Mars was crashing into the Earth. Yeah. But it turned out that the moon was crashing into the Earth. But it turned out that the moon was a space. Station, like a space pod, that had come from a different civilization, and that it's come
been
here.
Watching us for
well, we're here. It's put us here to help build us up, to take us back.
And Galileo. Apparently, Galileo was one of the first to mention the moon, because of that the moon wasn't mentioned at all in history until a certain time.
And they say that it vibrates and it rings and all of them kind of things and certain things. And I was watching that film and I was actually thinking the way that that's a pod. So basically, what they've said is they created AI. The artificial intelligence was helping them thrive. You get me? There was thriving. The race was thriving. The AI switched, started killing them all. So now they've had to build these arcs. The moon, and like a Noah's Ark, and send as many people out as they can to try and save the civilizations, find somewhere to inhabit and build up their resources and technology. And they found Earth, and now here that's what they're doing, building up everything that they can. You get me? To take us back to AI. No, to take us back to our normal civilization. Now. I went on a trip, mushrooms, a few moons ago, and when I do it, I'm not doing it for recreational purposes. I'm doing it for some form of spiritual enhancement and enlightenment. So I set my mood, vibrations, water, candles.
You do a
little ceremony. Get myself into the frame of mind, meditation, boom, deep breathing, boom, boom, boom.
The best way, some nice like music, meditation.
Yeah, man, just zenning. So I've got myself into this state now where I'm basically saying to myself, in order for me to go into my higher consciousness, I need to kind of stop breathing here. That my energy needs to kind of like, I'm not breathing, meaning the sense that my spirit or whatever is just in this body for a piece that it can come out.
Like an astral projection.
So man's projected into like, and this is what I was saying, where do people get their inspiration from? Because I've projected into a place that looked like a space station. That there were spaceships, I can't say spaceships, crafts on the station. It looked like a proper station, and I was thinking, wow, I can fly that. Something was telling I can fly it. But if I jump on that now, I don't know how long I'm going to be gone for here.
You don't know if you're coming back.
And if I don't come back, like here, I'm going to appear dead. So I need to. What's going to happen? So I need to come back. I came back, woke up the missus and said, yo, this is what I've just gone on. This is where I've just been. Boom, boom, boom. I want to go again. But what I want you to do is watch me. Just and know that if it's too long, don't be panic. Like I'm alive. I'm just not here, innit? I'm gonna come back. So you're gonna have to watch me. You get me? I've tried to get myself back into the state. Unfortunately, due to I feel my ego at the time, because when in the meditation, I would manage to suppress my ego. You get me? And because I wasn't even thinking about going there. You get me? I didn't know what I just wanted to be in a pot. Now I'm like, I want to go. I couldn't get back there. Few moons later, I watched that film, and I seen the way the things were, and I was like, oh my god, like it's something that kind of connected with me, because I was thinking,
you swear drunk about that.
I had that thingy, and now I'm seeing kind of similar kind of things. Now I'm not saying that it's going to be the set. People are going to be able to go on if I've been able to go on the trip, and see what I've seen.
But I was watching the thing about astral projection, and that's what I'm saying. You don't have to go on a trip to do it.
Of course, deep breathing and that, bro.
Deep breathing and all that.
Like we are, like I said, we can the DMT. We can create that. Ourselves, endorphin, all of these kind of things, we can create them ourselves. It's just whether we know how to do it. We don't know how to do it. Half of us don't even know how to breathe properly.
That's the thing, though.
We're not even breathing. We're just, you're breathing. No, that's not breathing. Taking in some, that's breathing, filling your lungs up with oxygen, and do you know what I mean? Enabling the blood to pump around. Do that a few times now. You're gonna feel your head go close your eyes. You can you can make yourself go into a state rapid. You get what I'm saying? We ain't been shown these things. We haven't been taught these things. We don't know these things.
But a lot of drugs can do that. Like you can astral project. If you take ketamine, you can astral project.
I've only done it once.
Yeah, I've done loads. I've done mushrooms, DMT.
I've not done DMT. Shrooms.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's a lot of great things about mushrooms. Like I said, there's therapeutic benefits. That's why people now are using it for anxiety. You know, like PTSD. So they're doing studies in America on the police, when the police have shot people.
Have you seen that?
Bro,
and the MDMA one as well.
Yeah, bro.
They've pretty much got MDMA through, bro. There's a place in Bristol, bro, an MDMA centre in Bristol, bro, where you can go and they'll administer MDMA and take you on these like therapy sessions.
MDMA only became bad when it became a party drug, and that's when it started using it for recreation. But that's what they used to use it for as well, like all that anxiety stuff. But yeah, like you said, shrooms is different, but I feel like that again is just the chemical. Like, because I know that ketamine, you can do the same thing. Basically, if you take ketamine, I don't know if you have the same experience, because I've only done shrooms like a couple times.
How did you do
man
the
like
shrooms?
me don't
like you, bruv.
Did you do the ketamine like that though?
I've done ketamine probably not like that, but in different.
But that's what I'm saying.
The shrooms though, like I did
ceremonial,
chilled, ceremonial. Same way I did the DMT. To be fair, chilled, ceremonial.
But if you do MDMA and all of them kind of things,
chilled,
then you're gonna get a total different thing than what you are if you're gonna do it in a recreational.
Yeah, definitely.
Because now you're dealing with energy. You're opening yourself up to receive more energy. That's why when man we used to do them party days and that, bro, man freaking out, bro.
Trust me.
Man's having bare bare energy things popping through. You could be sitting there 1 minute and be I gotta go, get off, and then you phone it, something's happened. What do you mean? What do you mean something happened?
I felt it.
I felt it.
I've done the M-Dizzle. I've done the M-Dizzle, but I've never done all the ketamine and the mushrooms and all that. But that's what I'm saying. I've never thought about it with M-Dizzle that way. I know the feeling. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you get.
But that's what I'm saying. When you do, you like
the right way, and like drugs, like on a whole, if you're just taking them loosely, recklessly, they're gonna be bad. Like if you eat too much sugar, it's gonna be bad. If you have too much anything, it's gonna be bad. But if you do it like you said, in the right way, in the right environment, you can get them real benefits from it. And like I was just saying, if it's helping people with PTSD, anxiety, why aren't they administering this stuff? Because right now there's an epidemic, bro.
Alright, let's see it like this, Mushrooms I've microdosed. I've done courses of microdosing where I've taken a small dosage every day, stopped, and then, you know what I mean, done it again. And I felt like, didn't feel it in the sense of, I'm feeling thingy, but I just felt a little bit more clearer and a bit more clarity. Now, I've been to the doctors and said, I'm feeling depressed. Here you go. Take these antidepressants. Take the antidepressants. You can read the side effects. You may feel worse than what you already were. Well, I feel like killing myself.
That's what I'm saying. Dead,
so what do you mean?
Yeah, dead.
I feel like killing myself. That's okay, mean, take these antidepressants.
That's what the first got.
These for the first 2 weeks are gonna make. These for the first 2 weeks are gonna make me feel worse than what I'm feeling. But I want to kill myself. Yeah. So where are you trying to put me?
That's what it is. True. Yeah.
Why are we not? This is what I mean.
They're trying to keep you sick. That's the pharmaceutical companies. They're trying to.
Why are we not looking on ourselves? Like we're talking, like when I'm talking about the numbers. There's a lot of young men out here, you know, taking their lives right now.
Yeah.
And I know you started something, which is one thing I definitely wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
That men's circle.
Yes.
Why it's needed, and why have we got to a point where we need to tell our friends that it's okay to talk to us about problems? When did that not become part of friendship?
That's something I was thinking the other day. Do you know? I'll tell you what triggered it for me. There was a post by that UFC fighter.
Yeah, that
Paddy.
Yeah, about his friend. Like, my condolences to his friend and that. You know what I mean? It's not a nice place to be. But then it took me to a place of thinking, how can that be your friend if they're feeling that they have to be in that state or do that thing to take their life? Because if there was the friend, they should be able to, or there should be some, like it should.
They should know that they can talk to you.
Yeah, or you should know that, there's something seriously not up, man. Like, walk on with my friend.
Yeah.
Like, if it money, like all of them, if it's your friend, like, and I know it's hard because like I've been in those situations. I've got friends that have contemplated and said, and a man's been there, and them man there ain't doing it. I've had man that have done it, and then I've seen them or tried to. And man seen them after, like, and they're like, I should have been, you should have been, your time. I should have come to you. It wasn't your time, luckily, but now you know, you get what I'm saying, because certain times it is hard for men to open up, but same time, if you're a friend, you should be an open door, bro. Your friends shouldn't feel any way of coming to speak to you about anything at any time, bro. Especially if it comes down to the fact of them feeling that they don't want to be here.
Well, it's just the mouth. It's back to the perception of what TV is trying to put on us, and they got this image where man have got to be this male, macho, bravado, super guy. This is what I hate. What about some rappers? It's like superhuman. I can do anything. I'm perfect. I can do anything. And I'm a realist in the realist sense, and you can't do everything. You know, no one can do everything.
We have the capability but we can't do everything. But we do have the ability. I do believe we have the ability, but it's
we may have the capabilities, but I mean to be like that perfect guy,
nobody's perfect.
No,
and the reason being because of perception.
Yeah,
my perception and your perception are two different perceptions. So what you may deem to be perfect, I may not deem to be perfect. So you can only be perfect in the sense of be the perfect you.
This is why I was looking into Shinto.
So how does that translate into? So how do we break through that? Is what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, the numbers of men committing suicide because they can't talk. How do we break that cycle?
There needs to be a forum or some kind of outlet where people can go to. Maybe if it was easier where there isn't no age limit or anything, or because sometimes
access.
Yeah.
I think
access
the stigma as well.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of
weak.
Yeah, man. A lot of men they're afraid of the stigma that is attached to expressing their emotions and that.
Well,
and I think once we get to the realization, this is something that I say all the time. It takes a male and a female to make a male or a female. Therefore, we all have the same genetics that have made us up, which in turn are also going to give us the same emotions, the same thoughts, the same feelings. Yeah, it's only what we've been programmed to think, which makes us think different. So we need to reprogram the way we view things. For instance, we've told men are stronger than women, but the reality of it is there's going to be women that are stronger than men.
Yeah, of course.
There's men that men are more emotional. There's some men that are more emotional than women. So we need to get away from the fact of saying, oh well, only women are emotional and men are rare. Because we're beings.
Putting that label on you, well, that's what we mean. We're categorized, though. That's
so
what
first and foremost, we're beings.
Yeah.
That's we're beings before anything.
Well, categorized, we shouldn't label ourselves anyway. That's what I mean. We don't need to label ourselves. We can be anything we want to be. We can literally there's it's a Leonardo da Vinci quote, I think, and he was saying it's not the problem is it's not that we chase our dreams and we've already reached them. It's that we don't chase them, we haven't reached them, something like that. But I've like really and truly, it's like we gotta start labeling ourselves. We can be anything we want, and as men we are this kind of like we can be gods, we can be scientists, we can be these three main strengths that control the world in a sense, because these main abilities that the world is controlled by is you're either a god or a scientist, or and I forgot the rest. I forgot what else it is. But anyway, off topic. We just need to start labeling ourselves. That's what I believe. That's
something that I agree with as well. Like the labeling starts from youth. Even starts with your name. Even starts with what sex you are. And I'm not saying that all of this that they don't matter, because my personal perception is male and female to reproduce. Do you get what I'm saying? We can have loving relationships amongst all beings, but
so
it's like we're limiting ourselves.
It's not even a label. It's not a label. It's logical. You just know, innit? That goes into that. Do you get me? It's just like having an American plug and trying to plug it into. It don't fit, innit? You're gonna have to make it when it's fitting. It's not fitting properly, innit? You need the right plug, innit?
It don't fit.
It don't fit. It's not supposed to go in there. So just use the right plug. Do you get what I'm saying? In that sense, why? Because what it does is it reproduces. So it's logical that that's meant to be that, innit? I think. I don't know, because then it all depends on how you look at things, loving and all of that. Should we? Where did love come from?
Just like the way I reckon it's a chemical thing, and I reckon it's a chemical reaction, like you said.
Oxytocin.
Yeah.
It's different though, innit? Like I feel like it depends what you mean by love, because
so a love for a child, an automatic love for a child. But
like
is it though? Because
energy,
there's some people that don't love the kids.
Yeah, but they're like outliers, innit? I think most people love their kids.
See,
I think if you did like an experiment or survey, I think most people love their kids.
I love my kids.
Yeah.
just for the record, I do love myself. But this is something that I came across the other day. Something that I was thinking the other day. Yeah, and I know it's probably a bit out there as well.
Right.
Yeah, but being a parent, we talk about our children or my children or whatever, and what you was talking about earlier on, where we was talking about if kids spend more time with their mom, then really they're gonna be made up more of their mom's energy than the dad's energy.
Yeah.
But then we all have this perception of talking about mine. Oh, it's my kid. Oh, it's my kid. Yo, it's mine. But the reality is that we grow up and we become our own being. So is it right to have that entitlement to the mind of the child? Yeah. Or is it that we need to? But this is what I'm saying though. Sometimes
children can't, because children realistically can't look after them.
But our duty just to keep them safe until they're of an age to do their thing. Because
it's not really easy, it's to help them thrive.
Yeah, but in thriving,
it's to help their growth.
If we're like teaching them,
hierarchy of needs, and that's like just saying all they need is fire, water, and a roof over their head and food. It's like Hanslow's, or is it Manslow's hierarchy of needs, I think. But if that's all they needed, then people would be able to provide that. But they don't do that. They need more than that. They need nurturing. They need like their souls plenished. Do you know what I mean? They need to know what's good. They need to know what's bad.
But do they though?
But that's what I'm saying. That's more of an emotional person who's in tune with their sensitive side. If you realise most people are not in tune with their
so they're teaching them the same shit.
They say intelligent people are less in tune with their sensitive side. So.
I don't know. I disagree strongly. It depends on intelligence, what intelligence you mean as well, innit? Because there's a difference between being clever and a difference between being intelligent.
So, but you have emotional intellect, then you have academic intellect.
But that becomes when you're talking about, like I said, your EQ in it. So if you're emotional intelligence, you need to have self-awareness in it. That's completely different to being clever. That's like, because stop when you say some clever people, they've got no common sense. But then sense isn't common in the first place. So we say that's common sense, but a lot of people don't know what should be or how things are regardless because of the way they've been raised. But I definitely think...
But then this is what, like you just said, is everything then learned?
I think most things are learned. I think some things are innate in it. Like,
so then, if most things are learned, then everything we know really isn't what we know. It's what we've been taught. Now, this is my point with kids. So, how do I know now what I'm teaching my kids
is right? You don't
know.
So then...
Because you have to think of it like this. 60 years ago, it was right for everyone to teach people that gay people should be killed or stoned. Or if your wife had an affair, she should be stoned or killed. Or if you stole something, you should be hanged. So that 50 years ago was a norm, innit? So there's people, all like racism or slavery. People grew up like literally going to watch lynchings, kids, innit? So they've been indoctrinated. They used to grow up with
jewels. That's what man weren't fighting. Man are going outside and bam.
Exactly. So so there's never going to be a right way is what I'm saying. Like you can't base that. But I think as a human being, as you said, right, an energy and what you feel, you know what's right and you know what's wrong. Even if you feel you have to do a wrong, but you still know when it's wrong.
But this is the thing though, like you said, what may be right for you in your situation, somebody else from a different perception, a different upbringing, a different thingy, they're going to have the viewpoint of that's wrong. So then how do we know how do we know when we're teaching our kids that we're not teaching them?
But this is
to
why
be going down a road.
This is why
there isn't a right or wrong answer, is it?
Yeah,
that's why everyone's unique and everyone's different.
But then this is back to the thing is it right for us to teach them knowing full well that they're going to get to a point of making up their own minds and decisions on everything what we've taught them, and they could have an opposed opinion and a way of thinking because they've had a different upbringing than what we experienced?
Yeah, and that's probably what should naturally happen. Like, I don't think it's like I never lived with my dad, but I seen him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I never lived with him. I was raised by my stepdad and my husband. And my dad raised me, but you get what I'm saying.
Did you have a closer relationship with your stepdad though?
Not a closer one, a different one. Like,
was it a more loving one?
Nah, not really. It was. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't more. I couldn't say it was more or less. It was just different, innit?
Okay, like, you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. Like, obviously, me and my dad are like very close, but I'm saying growing up. But people always say to me, like, you're just like your dad. You're just like your dad. There's certain things that are just in you, innit? And then, like you say, most of what you pick up though is learned like through school, roughly. Like you said, your mum, if you're with your mum more,
stuff, people like that.
That's what it would be. Yeah. But I feel like when we're teaching our kids, there is no right or wrong way to do this. What you have to realize is, we may have give birth to you, or your mother gave birth to you, But this is your life.
And that's my point.
I'm going to try and guide you the best I can. And when you get to an age where you feel that you can really have critical thinkers.
How old is that though? Because
when
you see, some religions.
Well, not when I feel, but yeah, go on.
If you think of say Judaism, they believe at 13. Yeah. Over here it's 18. In America, it's 21. Do you get what I'm saying? So in other countries, probably tribal things and everything, they go through their things. We don't know.
Yeah.
So what then determines when they are of the age to be able to make their choices?
I feel like you know it, like you know your kids on it, like it depends on it. Let's say I got 2 kids, they're both 16, you know. So legally within the law's calling them men. Now I know personally from being 36 that I probably didn't come man till I was
25, 28, 30.
100.
Man still not even there.
Still not there, yeah.
But that correlates with when your frontal lobe's fully formed as well. Do you know what I mean? When you're 25, that's really when you're meant to know, like, okay, this is kind of what I am now. Yeah. Not that you figured out what you're going to do in life, but this is what I am at the age of 25. But with my kids, it's kind of like, one might be mature and you'll be like, yo, Dad, I'm moving out. I might be like, cool. The next one might be walkless and he's like, yo, Dad, I'm moving out. I'll be like, nah. Because you can't treat all your kids the same. And that's what the problem is. Sometimes people try and, not saying I love them the same, but your kids have different strengths, different characteristics, they're different people. Some you might have to come down hard on, others you might just be like, yo, do you know what I mean? So you can't treat them the same. But so there is really no answer to this thing. You
ain't it nice to just be all be treated?
And that's what it is. And that my point was just for parents out there, for men out there, you know, who may be struggling, going through being a father and having a perception of what's expected of them based 100%. On other people's expectations of what they want.
Do you think it's harder for do you think you're gonna get killed?
No, listen, I already knew he was gonna get killed today. I was like, yo.
Do you think it's harder for men when they have children? Not in the terms of like
the way society is set up and the rights.
So listen to this. I seen someone the other day, and the partner was going to them like, yeah, you're lucky I put you on like the birth certificate and that. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, but like just in an argument or like a heated conversation even, and she's like, nah, like I'm being serious, like I allowed you to be on the kid's birth certificate. I'm thinking, raw. Like,
but this is
that
my
takes two, you know, to make that child like.
Yeah. But that was my point then when I was talking about the ownership. Is it right to claim ownership of the child, knowing full well that being is going to grow up?
A woman's going to say that though because she went through the 9 months. So
but even though you went through the 9 months, does that still?
Went through the whole.
chose to go through that. So
but still, does that make it yours?
Well, you both chose. If you
I think your children, when we say yours, I think till they're always going to be your children, and
but then this is, sorry to cut you before you carry on,
but
the system doesn't see it that way either. Because the moment you register them now, birth certificate, they're the states. They're not even. So when we're talking, now they become property. Now you've signed them over from being a being, to now being a property, a person. You get what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying. Where like we've been made to claim ownership on something, but the reality of it is we don't even own it. So then we're talking about birth certificates, my kids, this I'm gonna do this and you're gonna do that.
Well, this
and
is why
I expect you to do this.
Independence is key and the way forward, isn't it? And we all gotta have we gotta have our own, build our own, have our own clothes, have our own, farms and stuff. We've got to produce our own food. Everything's supposed to come from our individuality and independent, but as a nation as well, we're supposed to have a black economy, because I want to see more black businesses. When I look on the road every time, I think, well, how come there's not a fair economy? There's more Asian shops, there's bare white shops, a couple of Chinese shops, and I'll see like probably one Jamaican shop. to Jamaican shop, but it's always a Jamaican shop as well. Why does it have to be a Jamaican shop to be black owned? Why can't it be another clothes shop? Why can't it be another chip shop or something? Why can't you know what I mean? And it doesn't feel like there's a fair economy before, a fair society before that.
What you touched on earlier on, the labelling, I think it's all to do, it's the dividing amongst us, it's the way that we're being put amongst each other. If we can get away from the fact of having black shops, Asian shops, having thingies, and having more community run shops, more community orientated things that are going on, I believe that's going to be more influential and more beneficial than still rolling with the narratives of the divide of this colour's this and this colour's this and this colour's this, because that's how they still want to keep us. We have to fully get away from that, because the reality of it is now shops, when people are, there's a lot of interracial couples. Do you get what I'm saying? There's a lot of interracial kids now coming through as well. So it's getting to the point where we have to be be realistic of the sense of, we can't be judging people on colours and all of these kind of things, because just because he may look that colour and that, his mum's over there, his dad's with this, he's got brothers over there that are this colour and sisters and this, that, and boom, boom.
But that's why the powers that be have been clever in turning like the propaganda from race to culture. You see what I mean? It's easier now to say to someone, but I don't like them because of their culture, than it is to say, I don't like them because of their colour.
Yeah.
It's just like saying you don't like the vibe, isn't it?
But the thing is, we all, not all.
It'll be hard. Listen, I think to not acknowledge someone's colour is as damaging as making it a thing to acknowledge. In the sense of that, there's pride in my colour. It can tell you where I come from to a degree. It could tell you something about my cultural heritage. Like I can test to someone who comes from where I come from.
It's your identity.
It's part of my identity. So it's just as damaging for someone to say, but I don't see your colour. I'm like, well, I see it and I see your colour. It's just not an issue to me. Like it's not a thing that I have to keep bringing up, or I don't hold, because there's a lot of people that aren't racist, isn't it?
Do you see it as a colour though, or do you see it as a shade? Because if you start seeing it as a different colour rather than
it's a pigment,
like in the sense of see how I view people is
shades.
Not even that, like yourself, I see people, but the colour isn't something
it's not the first thing.
It's not something that stands out. It's not something that I'm trying to pick up on the energy. I'm trying to watch your eyes and see how your eyes are. Yeah, man, that's how because I know that colour, it can be a false perception. Do you get what I'm saying? Just like clothes, everything, you get me? It's what's on the inside, and that's we have to go deeper than the skin and get deep. Some people won't deal with a certain person because the clothes they wear.
Well,
and then you take the clothes off. Oh yeah, you're cool. Then you got some people that won't deal with them people because of the skin colour. But if you was to put them all in a dark room, you get me, and ask them to do certain things and everything. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's a thing like the colour thing. We have to get past all of those. We have to get to the point of realising everybody is capable of every thought and every action. It all is based on situation and circumstances at the time. So people have different. They can be in one state there, see them 2 minutes, 5 minutes, a year, 10 years down the line. He's a different man. Leopard can't change his spot. Shut your mouth. All of that's bullshit. That's what you want to do. You want to keep us suppressed and into that thing and keep feeling negative about yourself without growing and flourishing and experiencing and that. We're all capable of every thought and every action. So if we're all capable of every thought and every action, who is anyone to judge? Other than thyself. Work on thyself. Don't judge anybody else. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's what I think. That's what I try to do. Concentrate on yourself.
Concentrate on yourself.
That's
watch
the best
yourself.
thing to try and be. But I genuinely feel as well, like while we're here, you gotta try and give back as much as possible.
Okay.
You got to try and give back.
Not even try. you have to give back. Give back
Just
the energies, man. Just keep the positive energies flowing. Touching on why the men's circle was set up, it was set up to give men this space to enable them to talk to each other in ways that probably wouldn't feel. I love you. I love you, my brother. I genuinely love you. You're my brother from long time. You get what I'm saying? And I've genuinely got a mad love for you.
Bro.
I've only just met you, but brother, I straight love you. You get me? You're a brother, and it's things like that. You know, being able to feel comfortable in just saying, yo, being able to go, you know what, bro? You get me?
It's just a positive vibe, and I think
seriously, like a proper hug. You get me? Because we don't get that.
Nah, it's true.
Do you get what I'm saying? We don't get them things. We don't get them hugs where it's like, yo, brother, you get me?
Do you know what, Luke? Though?
Like, man really loves you. You get me, bro? Man's here. Man knows. You get what I'm saying? Man feels it. A man's here. You get me? And it's things like that.
Do you know what it is as well? Like, even though we do this and we talk, and we've been doing this for a while, as you said, I've wanted you on for a long time. So we've been talking with men and trying to get men to talk. And this podcast used to be a big mental health podcast. It's how we started. We started through our own traumas, and that's why this whole thing got set up. But even then, you doing that to me shocked me. And you are my brother, and you're my friend. So it's still, when men are there going, yeah, it's good to talk, it's all right saying that, but really what you also have to understand is you also have to be able to listen and feel. That's the problem. Our friends sometimes don't want to talk to us because we feel like, they feel like they're burdening us. It's a burden for them to share their problems with us. And we need to show them that that's not right.
Nah, it's a lot of the burdens and the things like that come from the way society is set up, the stigmas attached, the expectations, or I've got to do this because I believe you think I need to do this.
Yeah.
When a lot of the time it's, forget all of that. Deal with thyself.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? How do you think and how do you feel? So know that other people are thinking and feeling the same.